discuss about static electricity. Okay, electricity has two branches. One is the current electricity, that is energy in which the moving charges constitute electric current. Okay, and the second part is static electricity. Static means rest. That means the charge is not allowed to flow, it is at rest. And the branch of physics that deals with bodies which are charged due to rest is called static electricity. Okay, so right now we are going to start the topic, that is static electricity. This is the electricity due to rest. Okay, because the word static means rest. Clear? Now suppose A and B are two bodies which are rubbed with each other. Okay, that means the body A is in contact with B. Okay, initially the two bodies are neutral. These are neutral. Okay, neutral means, suppose if you discuss in case of atom, the number of electrons and number of protons are same. So an atom has no charge, neutral. Okay, because the total positive charge of the protons balances the total negative charge of the electrons. Therefore, atom has no charge. Now we are considering the same type. A and B are neutral. Okay, before rubbing each other. Now you can see the bodies are in contact. Now A is rubbed with B. It is possible that the tendency of A might be losing the electrons, and B has more tendency to gain than to lose electrons. So supposing the electrons are transferred from A to B, okay, then what happens? A, because of loss of electrons, gets positive charge, okay, and B, due to gain of those electrons, get negatively charged. Okay, so when you separate A and B, before and after, look at the changes that has happened in A and B. Previously A and B were having no charge, but after rubbing, when they get separated, A has now positive charge, okay, and B has negative charge. The charge which has been acquired by A is due to loss of electrons, okay, and the charge acquired by B is due to gain of electrons. So who is responsible for electrification of these two charges? Perhaps the electrons. The electrons in the last orbit of an atom. Okay, so positive electrification is due to loss of electrons, negative electrification is due to gain of electrons. Okay, now the branch of physics that deals with these bodies electrified due to rest. Rest because you can see the charge on A and B is not allowed to flow, it is static, rest. So both the bodies are having positive and negative charge, okay, and these charges can't flow. Now we are going to discuss how the charges can be acquired by a body. Okay, in this context, any two bodies, when they rub with each other, okay, one of them gets positive charge, the other gets negative charge. Now it depends. Let us take few examples. Now I am providing you a list of objects, okay, which are rubbed with each other, and we shall discuss how each of the body is getting charged. Who is getting positive charge, who is getting negative charge. In your textbook you might be given 2 examples or 3 examples, but if there is a list of various objects, then what is the concept behind which is getting positive charge, which is getting negative charge? I am giving a list of at least 11 objects. Okay, let us start. The first is cat skin, that means the skin of a cat. The second in the list is fur. Okay, the third is the glass. Okay, the fourth is cotton. The fifth is wood. We can take after the cotton, it is silk. Then the sixth is wood. The seventh, that is Indian rubber. The eighth is resin, the ninth in the list is amber, then we have 10th, that is sulfur, then the 11th, the last of the list is ebonite. Okay. Now you can observe in the list of 11 objects, if you run any two objects, okay, the one that is coming first in the list will get positive charge and the other which is coming after that gets negative charge. So this is the list of 11 objects arranged in the order of decreasing tendency to lose the electrons. The first is having more tendency to lose electrons, so it gets positive charge if it is rubbed with any of this. Let us take one example. If you take glass, rub it with silk, that is the list 5, okay. Then the one which is getting more tendency to lose electrons is glass, and this has less tendency to lose electrons. So the glass will lose electrons, okay. As a result of this, this will get positive charge, okay, and skin by gain of electrons gets negatively charged. So this is how you conclude to develop charges. What is more important? The transfer of electrons, okay. The loss of electrons decides positive charge like in glass, and the gain of electrons decides the negative charge. So we can see that glass is above silk in the series. So the one that is coming above has more tendency to lose electrons than the one that is coming below. Because silk is below glass, so silk cannot have tendency to lose electrons, but has more tendency to gain electrons. So when the two are rubbed with each other, definitely glass gets positive charge, silk gets negative charge. Now let us take one more example. If you rub this silk with ebonite, okay. Now ebonite is coming in the last of the list. It has no tendency to lose electrons but has tendency to gain electrons. So if you rub ebonite with any of the objects 10 above, definitely ebonite will get negatively charged and the one that is above gets positive charge. So let me conclude again. In the list of 11 objects, okay, you can take any two objects, rub them with each other. The one that is coming above will get positive charge and the one that is coming below will get negative charge. So this is the method to identify the charges acquired on the body. Now let us discuss charging a body by conduction. Charging a body, okay. The first method is by conduction. Conduction means in which a charged body, okay, is made to touch with a neutral body, okay. Suppose this is a glass rod which is rubbed with silk, okay. This is the glass rod, okay, which has been rubbed with silk. Definitely, as per this, the glass acquires positive charge. This is the insulated handle, okay, because we must see that when we are holding this particular charged body, the charge might flow through our body because human body is a good conductor of electricity. So make sure to place a insulated handle. Insulated handle means the body which doesn't pass the charge. Like you can take wood, plastic. So these are insulators. Now make it touch with a neutral body. This is the neutral body, okay, which has no charge. Now when you touch the glass rod with this, the electrons from neutral body flow into this. This is the motion of electrons, direction of flow of electrons. So what happens after this? The body A, this is suppose body A. After removing the glass rod, the body gets positive charge. You know why? Because the body A has suffered net loss of electrons. Electrons always flow from surplus to deficit area. Now let us take one more example. Let us take the body B, okay, neutral body, which is in touch with an ebonite rod with fur, okay. This is the insulated handle for this ebonite. This is the ebonite, and in the list it comes in the last. So with ebonite, you have any of the objects, ebonite gets negatively charged. So this is the negative charge, right? When you touch this ebonite rod with the body B, which is neutral, okay, the electrons flow from here to here. This is the motion of electrons, right? Because this is negatively charged, so this is surplus area of electrons, and it is flowing into the neutral body. Now what happens after B is separated from the ebonite rod? The B gets negatively charged, okay, because of accumulation or gaining of electrons. So one thing is very clear. In case of charging by conduction, okay, the charge acquired by the neutral body is same as that of the charging body, okay. Charges are shared between the two bodies, okay. Third, the charge of the charging body is reduced to some extent because of the electrons either gaining or losing. And fourth is the body, which is basically having the charge, okay, the neutral body is having the same charge as the charging body, okay. And all throughout, make sure that you are placing this body on an insulated stand. That's more important, because if you are used insulated stand over here, insulated handle over here, to prevent the flow of charge, then you must make sure that this body is kept on an insulated stand. Here also the body is kept on insulated stand, because you know that the charge will flow into the earth. That is called discharge or simply earthing. Similarly here also you need an insulated stand, okay, so that whatever charge you give to this particular body, the charge remains as it is on the body. So this is how you can see the observations A and B, how the bodies are getting charged by conduction, right? Now we are going to discuss about charging by induction. This is the second method to charge a body, and this method involves not touching with the body. That means the charged body and the neutral body are not in contact with each other, okay? Now let us take the same glass rod rubbed with silk. So this glass rod, as we know, is positively charged. Now keep a neutral body A on an insulated stand, okay. So what happens? This positive charged glass rod attracts the electrons. Suppose this is end X, okay. This is X and X, this is end Y, and the body is A, okay. When this glass rod is brought near it, the electrons from Y, this portion, flow into this, because opposite charges attract each other. Due to accumulation of electrons, the end X gets negative charged and end Y becomes positive charge, okay. This is called the free charge, and this is called the bound charge, right? Why? Because this charge is tightly held by the positive charged glass rod. Now you leak this particular charge connecting this end by a copper wire and made to touch the earth. This is the symbol for earthing, okay. So what happens when this particular provision is made? This is called earthing. You can see that there is a deficiency of electrons over here. So as much deficiency of electrons is there, the earth is going to fulfill. The supply of electrons takes place from earth to this body. Keeping the same setup as it is, you leave this connection for some time. After that, you can remove this particular wire, okay. So what happens? The charge on the body, make sure when you are removing this particular wire, okay, the body was in contact, okay. Don't remove this body first, because the whole charge is going to get discharged. So after removing this earth wire, that means you cut off this wire, okay. This is called disconnecting. The body now A becomes negatively charged because there is a net gain of electrons. So this is the status of A after removing the earthing, but still it is on the insulated stand because this prevents the body to get discharged. Okay, so this glass rod is removed after breaking the earth connection. Okay, so you have seen that in charging by induction, the charge acquired on the body is opposite to that of the charging body. Second, there is no sharing of charges. Third, there is need of earthing the free charge. Fourth, the charge of the charging body is undisturbed. Clear? So this is the comparison you can make between charging by conduction, charging by induction. Okay.